Hi everyone, Casey Mullaney here from CaseyMullaney.com. And today I wanted to focus a little bit on what happens when you get a psychic reading and it just doesn't feel right. Like something feels off about it, but maybe you're not entirely sure what that is, or maybe it's just really bothering you. So first I want to talk about one, if you went to seek out a psychic, was it just for fun, just for a 6-month update? Was it because you had a very specific question in mind? Think about maybe your purpose behind going. And then I also want you to think about what felt off about the reading. Like what did not appeal to you or what seemed off to you? Is it just that maybe that it didn't suit you or you weren't happy with the outcome of the reading? Or is it because something really feels off? So this actually happened to me this week, and I haven't had a reading before that felt like way off base. I haven't had tons of readings. In case you're not aware, I'm pretty intuitive myself. I occasionally will do readings for friends with oracle cards, but I don't do that as an actual service at this point, and that's not something that I share very often. But I do have enough of my own intuitive ability, and I've done enough readings for myself, and have done plenty of other readings to know the difference between somebody who's truly channeling something and when somebody's kind of inserting their own personal opinions. And for me, I had a reading this week where it really felt more like, yes, there were things that she was definitely gathering about me, but there were also lots of personal opinions imposed into the reading. And luckily, it was somebody that I'd never seen before. And luckily, I only chose to do a 15-minute reading, but it left me a little unsettled afterwards. And it left me unsettled because it didn't feel right. It didn't fit with any previous readings that I'd had in that subject matter. And it also didn't fit anything that I had received personally through my own intuition. So even if you don't have, strong psychic abilities or strong intuitive abilities right this second, there are ways to know whether something actually was maybe misread or if it didn't feel quite right to you. So first off, I do want you to rule out the possibility that you just don't like what was said. Sometimes there's things that come up that are not exactly what we want to hear. We'd always love to hear, that life's gonna, move through smoothly exactly into like the dreamboat life that we want. And, it doesn't mean that that's always the case right that second. The next thing I want you to rule out is, was this person maybe picking up things that are going on for you presently and then projecting that too far in the future? That is really what I think was partially going on yesterday, on top of with just, influencing opinions and things like that. I think she it was the end of the day and she was a bit of a conversationalist. So I felt like there was the portion that was accurate of the reading and then there was stuff that was just thrown in extra. So it depends on like where you're really gauging it. Like, is the information you received, was it someone truly channeling or was it somebody, just in conversation with you? And again, also like, what about it did you not like? Did it feel off to you or was it something you just weren't thrilled with? So if it's something that actually feels off to you, I want you to start tapping into your own intuition. And if you've never done this before, a really easy way to start is actually by just taking some really deep breaths, being in a quiet place where you're on your own, ideally, without any extra distractions, and just do some deep breathing exercises. If you've never done this before, you can inhale through your nose for like 4 counts and then hold for 4 counts, release for 4 counts. Basically, you just want to keep that more deep rhythm and you don't want to do too shallow of breathing. This will naturally relax your mind and it will open you up to being more receptive. It'll open you to being able to really dig into like how you actually feel, how your intuition, how your gut is kind of responding, on top of being more open to receive actual messages yourself. So once you've done that and really tapped in to see, what is your intuition guiding you towards? Is your gut saying this is right and you just don't like it? Or is your gut saying, no, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like the direction I'm feeling guided towards. This doesn't feel quite like it's for me. Maybe it was something that was brought out in that moment. And I don't refute people's abilities. I just believe sometimes they'll either bring out things in that moment, or they're also, psychics are still human. So there's always instances where maybe it just wasn't quite right. Maybe there was something that they were just including of their own human nature, like I said with the instance I had yesterday, versus truly channeling from spirits of higher powers. So I want you to dig in and see what that really felt like to you. Did it feel right? Did it feel like maybe it was pointing out something that you don't love about yourself, or something that you're not thrilled with? I know for me, one of the things that came up was there are things that I've been meaning to be doing more often that I'm not actively doing. And if I stay that course, then yeah, maybe some of the things that she said might actually come true. And that would actually be, a little more legitimate. But those were the stuff that she actually, was receiving. But there's also that free will piece. So if this does seem like something true, it does seem like in your gut, this is something that might actually, come and you don't love it. And also, I just want to throw in a little side note here. Psychics don't tend to give negative news, just so you know. If you're really channeling from more of a divine source, you're not going to blatantly give horrific news. That's just not really what's normally given. Like you're not, if a reading seems overly negative and seems like a really negative path, then it's not, I wouldn't totally trust that, or I wouldn't trust the energy sources that it comes. Most people that have intuitive abilities, you get, and I know it sounds a little bit funny sometimes to say, well, you get the more upbeat part of it, but you receive more positive guidance. And it's not that things are hidden from you that are blatantly negative, but you're receiving guidance along the lines in a more positive manner. And I hope that makes sense. If it does not, feel free to reach out. You can always contact me at CaseyMullaney.com if you have any questions on any of my videos. But for this, I want you to, past that sidebar, I now want you to think on where this fits for you. You also have free will involved in all of this. Just because someone sees something today does not mean that the decision course that you're going to take is going to actually lead you that way. That's another big key to remember, that just because something looks like apparent today does not mean that there won't be other decisions or factors or things you might do to change that tomorrow. So always keep that in mind as well. So anyways, I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any further questions, definitely reach out. I hope that you have great readings with psychics. I hope there's never a time where you're questioning validity or questioning why something doesn't feel right. And if you do, definitely, again, like I said, tap into your own intuition. Tap into what you're receiving. Tap in to see if, if it doesn't feel right, it just feels completely off, and your intuition is telling you that, and your gut is telling you that, and you feel like you're getting that as a very clear, this is just completely wrong, then accept that and move on with life. Don't dwell on whatever you weren't thrilled with. And sometimes things come up and they come up years later or something like that. But keep in mind for right now, if something feels off and it doesn't feel right in your gut, then, it maybe was a misreading or something that was thrown in that was more ad lib, that was just conversational versus a true reading. So anyways, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Thanks for watching. Definitely subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.